Hello everyone. Welcome back to more MoteMancer. We were just in the middle of... Well, we were just starting, I guess, to design a binary layout for the current technology level when I realized I'd been here for hours. I didn't leave this running very long, but at some point it did... I think the third planar reliquary I unlocked off camera, so in case you missed that, I have it now, and the fact that I got it off camera explains why it isn't doing anything yet. Okay, so binaries. We want 6 of them, because that's how many it takes to saturate a streamway with salt. So we could, and things we figured out at the end of the last episode is if you're doing it with air grippers, which I am, because they're the only ones I have, each binary needs exactly 1 gripper for its input. Now, technically this is not true. It needs 3/4 of a gripper, but you can only dole them out in halves. So, right, you can't... There's no way you can make, like, 3 grippers service 4 binaries exactly right, because you can only assign half an arm, or 1 arm. So ultimately you end up with... Oh, this doesn't even work. Right. You end up needing 1 gripper per binary, and so like that could look like this, for example. On the output side, you can be a little more clever because you need 1.5 grippers per binary, and so you could do something like, what am I doing? This and this and this and this. That was what I had designed for this side when I thought I needed it for input. And that was about as far as I got, is something like this. The question, though, is, great, but how do you power this? Because this is a great setup if I didn't have to provide any power. And I suppose you could use Verdant streamways, but I don't have those yet. Blooms don't reach far enough. And if you try, like, interleaving blooms in this way to keep everything powered, that's fine as far as it goes. It gets power, although it takes up a lot of space. But now you don't have, like... There's no one else next to this binary, right? You can do this, maybe, and waste half of a gripper. Which is not the end of the world. I guess it ends up effectively wasting 1 gripper per several of these guys. But it sucks, right? Nobody wants to do this. There's gotta be a cool kind of radial approach to this. The kind of thing that's always kind of my white whale, that I've seen other people design this kind of thing and post it on Discord, and it always looks really nice, but I don't get it. So what if I did like this? What if I just laid these out in a radial fashion? It doesn't quite line up properly, but what if I tried to build like 6 of these? Why is it that I can touch these nose to nose, but I'm too stupid? I guess it's because I'm supposed to do it there. So what if I just laid these out in as tightly packed of a hex as you can? What's wrong with me? There. This this isn't a hexagon. I put 7 of them in. Okay. there, right? Now, this is kind of nice. Sort of. But, like, a bloom in the middle, A, I can't get power to it, and B, it wouldn't power grippers along the outside. So that doesn't seem right. You know, maybe you could, like, put a bloom here and then use rampant bloom to get the power in. And that could power... Well... That... Maybe this could be, like... Maybe you could do this. If the inside grippers were all powered by this, and then the streamway got out via an underground, you could power the outside grippers with something else. I don't think that really works, probably, but let's have a look. So you could do like this, for example, and have these kind of shared grippers, right? I think you can design that. Let's say this is the output side, right? So that looks sort of cool. I can't do a straight line north out of here, though. So maybe... I guess there's nowhere I can do a straight line. I mean, I guess I can, but it won't be symmetrical. That's interesting. All of these are... Could I do the same thing, but rotated by, like, 60 degrees so that it all... Like, if the one on the right were pointing the other way, if the upper right one were like that, does that make any sense? I don't think so. Then they're way too close together, right? Well, maybe like this? That's a really tightly packed hexagon. And still nothing is on proper boundaries, and there's no room for a bloom. I mean, you could do that. That's actually pretty cool, if only I had good enough logistics tools, i.e. reaching grippers, to power this with, like, to reach two rings, right? An inner ring of input and an outer ring of output or something. I think you could probably do that. Although this doesn't actually reach grippers anyway. It doesn't reach any further than just lighting all these up. Yeah, okay. This is maybe an idea for a future day, I guess, when I have more tools. This seems like it could work. Even if it's not perfectly symmetrical, right? Kind of cool. And it's a little awkward that the power is on the south side and the output is on the north, I guess. I have not used the correct amount of grippers here. This is missing. Oh, the bloom is in the way. Wait, what? How come this one? No, this one doesn't work either. That's why it's wrong. Okay. Yeah, there's not space for a gripper or a bloom there. Right, and there can't possibly be, for the reason I said that if an air gripper has two adjacent pieces of junk around it, it can't ever function at full capacity. And the bloom, in order to fit next to these two guys, must present two adjacent problems, right? So this doesn't work. I don't think there's any way to get that bloom in there and have these grippers on the inside aligned with the amount of space I have to work with and the tools that I currently have. Right, I mean I could do this, but that doesn't power very much. If I could put it in, like, here, it would be fine. But I can't. It has to go up much higher. Alright, so maybe I'm not smart enough for hex design yet. If I had whipping grippers, I could replace these with whipping grippers and we'd be set, right? So they'd reach here and here, and then out to... No, they'd still reach this space here, part of the bloom, not a safe place to deposit. Okay, well, fine. Leave that for now. It's a cute idea. So, a thing that we saw some success with earlier was kind of offsetting them a bit so that there's room for more stuff. I don't know. Like, room for a bloom. I could do this. But again, then there's nowhere for this to touch its next one. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should just give up on the perfect 1.5 grippers per binary and design something that works. It's not hard at all to design, to just, like, I mean, put 6 of these in a row. I know that, right? And, you know, power them with, you know, each of them gets 2, you know, gripper. Like, you can do this approach and just like run blooms along both sides of this of the thing, right? You can do this and it just works. I'm aware of that. But I'm trying to find something cool. Maybe I shouldn't. Like, what exactly... In terms of the objectives of the game, it's obviously correct not to, like, stress over this. Stress is the wrong word. I'm not stressing. I'm choosing to spend more time working on it. But just to build something simple that I can stamp out, it'll use more mana blooms than the alternative. Who cares? It uses more space than the alternative. Who cares? It's going to function perfectly well, and you have tons of space and resources, and it having something like this that works at all, even if it's not a perfect design, will help you get access to more tools to build a better design, right? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just supposed to suck it up here and have no fun. I mean, and this is still kind of a cool design. Even if the way you power it kind of sucks. And Verdant Streams will just, like, come in and revolutionize this so that I can cut out all the blooms, right? Is this working? Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that's just the way it's going to be. Now, this one is kind of dangling, and that looks like a warning sign to me, but it's just because there's no more Brinery to its right. Oh, we also have to worry about balancing, don't we? Because this currently will all go on one side of the streamway. So at some point we have to, like, in the middle here, we have to change which lane we're depositing onto. After 3 of the Brineries, basically, we need to do like this. This is not perfect lane balancing or whatever, but it's fine. You know, if this lane is not being fully used, which most of the time it probably won't be, some of these Brineries will see use and some won't, but I don't care. I don't care if 6 of them are working at half speed versus 3 of them at full speed. It just does not matter. And input, I mean, we just... Oh, these are pointing the wrong way. Okay. Is that working? You're not... Can I not place a gripper on top of a gripper to reverse this direction? I thought I could. Why am I doing these in different directions? That's probably a bad idea. Make it clear this one's the output. Although I guess it should be clear from the count of grippers. And I can make it more clear by doing that. More entropy, that's nice. I think I'm perfectly happy just taking another planar reliquary. I guess at some point I'm gonna want like some of this stuff. Let's have a look at what this all is. Clearing entropy with spells grants double. So this is for getting more entropy research. Accelerating what we're doing. But I'm not really using spells right now, right? I'm using bastions, so that wouldn't do anything. Shards contribute. I'm not making any of those. Rifts respawn faster. I'm not closing them. Like, none of this does anything right now. So this delays rifts appearing. Okay, fine. So yeah, I mean, these, I don't really care. This is kind of like powerful transmutation magic, right? And this is logistics. I'm a lover of logistics, personally, but yeah, I mean, I guess, like, until I have enough planar reliquaries, I should keep taking them, I think, basically. What do I even... I don't know. Does it matter? This one? I have access to the Earth one if I want it, I guess. No? So... How did you... There we go. So to power this, without verdant streamways, well, first of all, I could almost do this with undergrounds, right? In a way. And sneak some roots in. But the undergrounds are super expensive. Like, why? Oh, they're not really that much cheaper than roots. Arguably, they're not. So... I mean, you could just do this, and then on the other side, do this, and it's very... You know, it spends a lot of material, but who cares? And a lot of space, which is kind of annoying. But at least it'll be easy to retrofit this once I get verdant streams, right? I can just take out the blooms and replace the streamways with verdant streams, and the blueprint will still make sense. All the grippers will be correct. So, I mean, this seems workable. Let's make sure everything is covered. Yeah. Okay. I'll just take it. I mean, maybe I should start actually saving stuff under elements as I get more and more blueprints in my library, but it's easy to, like, I can just, if I want to, I can take this and click here and save it. Is this water? I can't even know that's life. This is probably water? Hard to tell, honestly. That's Earth. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, so this, if this one's life, it must be next to what? I guess there's a little water droplet there. It's hard for me to see. But I don't care. Okay. So this idea is cool, but I don't currently have the tools to make it work. Maybe what I'm missing is game tools. Maybe I'm missing a brain. I don't know. We can revisit that some other time. sure the blueprint saved. It did. It's got all the stuff I wanted it to. Great. It really does take forever to pick stuff up without excavator. Can you, if you shift click, does that place a ghost? No. Control click? No. I think there's a spell added as well that in maybe fire, raise. There's a spell in fire named raise. I'm not sure if it's the spell I'm thinking of. I don't know what raise does, but I saw some spell that lets you like deconstruct a large area and yeah. We looked at this on stream, I think, didn't I? I don't remember now. I think it was in fire, but. Raise, here it is. No, that's about meteor storms. I don't think it's in shadow. Unravel? No, but Unravel is an upgrade to Shear, which I think might be what I meant. Ah. Collapse. Yeah, Shear. So, Shear is this shadow spell that destroys a structure and gives you back its ingredients. But you can toggle. It says spell aura, but it describes itself as if it were active. So I assume maybe it's like a toggleable thing, like Excavator, that changes. It's probably a toggleable thing like Excavator that changes how right-click behaves when you have it on. So you can destroy something and not reclaim the ingredients. A nice way to blow up, grindstones that are full of salt you don't want or whatever. Now, I don't actually know that I have space in here for these brinaries. Plus, I don't have nearly enough salt. Or mote inputs, I guess. Enough motes of water. Turns out a bastion here would actually do something, huh? Stop this entropy encroaching. And how did you get all messed up? Oh, it probably became night, I guess. Oops, no. But the thing is, this one doesn't actually matter. It's not protecting against anything. Inventory is full. In case anyone was curious. I have a lot of brinaries, but they're expensive. Let's not throw them away just yet. That's not how that works. So, I think now is the time to go start another water mining operation. which will be an opportunity to use the new brinery blueprint, and also design a new blueprint for harvesting water motes. Is this water? It is, right? Yeah. There's just a bunch of air doohickeys around. I have 4 mana pools with me, apparently. Okay, well, first of all, turn all this junk into prisms. It takes up less space. Let's actually, before I do that, let's just pretend the brinery's done already. Or that the mining outpost is done. Is that enough range to reach everything, do you think? It looks like it. So if I run some motes of water in here, then I'll get salt out. Oh, it wasn't quite enough, it looks like. Okay, here you go. Just make sure I have space for this before I start this digging project. And also clear some brineries out of my inventory. I don't know why there are so many air doodads around here. Also, is this like an unusually small moat patch? Feels like the life one I mined out recently was bigger. Maybe I'm imagining it. Or maybe some of it is out in the water. I guess I didn't pick up, hey, just in time. Tidal collectors get more range. I didn't pick up a bunch of tidal collectors, did I? I have 10. I'd like more than that. Oh, can I just lay down the railroad in front of me? Dang it, wrong. No, that is the right one this time. Can I lay down track in front of myself to go extra fast? I can. Very nice. I guess what I want actually is something like... Well, honestly, I can forget this salt line because this one's going to be completely full, right? There's no point merging them. So once this is done, I can just replace it underground in here and be done with it. Okay. But give me... There must be around here somewhere a handful of tidal collectors, right? You have 20. That ought to do. This feels like so much more cramped. I don't even know what design constraints to try to meet here. You can put these in pairs if you want. Like this, right? That would be one thing you could do. And they seem kind of good that way? Maybe? I'm not at all clear how we're powering these, but it probably won't be too hard. Something like that would get pretty much everything, I imagine. Well, no, you end up needing another one down here. They don't give you verdant undergrounds, do they? I don't think so. Verdant stream, verdant delta. No verdant underground. I mean, I guess that's something. This doesn't feel like it's a good blueprint candidate, right? Because it just feels like it's so tailored to this weird shape. And it isn't even good for that shape. How many collectors have I fit in here? Like 8? 10? 11? 10? It's hard to count. 10. But, I mean, most of the moat field is covered by either outputs from these guys or the collectors themselves, which is kind of all you can really ask for. Aside from it being possible to power, I guess that would be something to ask for. Oh, yeah, I don't like this very much. And even at that, it's only 10 collectors. I got 20 Avertants, right? And like, the title collector's only 10. They're the same throughput, right? Yeah, 1 every 2 seconds. Am I missing something? Is there some way that these actually tile together way better? Doesn't look like it. This tiles very nicely, but it outputs onto nothing. That one's already in. This one needs to go there. Oh, that doesn't work. Something like this. Maybe I just won't blueprint this and I'll leave this one. I'll call this one a custom job. until I get more experience laying these things out, right? I can't even get power to these guys, can I? What's part of the actual green network here? It's really hard to see with this inventory pop-up in my damn face, Cyan. Why is it when I want to look at a mana bloom, I have to look at my inventory as well? Okay. So we're missing like these few. Like these three basically. Or no, just this one and this. Yeah, I guess that. No, this one's covered. It's just these two that aren't covered, I think. Problem is, it's impossible to ever cover them. Nobody could ever do it. If there were some space down here, I could. No, you can't even build down here. It's too close to the lake. This one I could power, you know, like this. That would be fine. This obviously needs to get power in, but that's no problem. I can just do this and run a route in. Oh, this one already is powered. It's this one I have to get to. So this is not doing anything. It's these two. And there's no place. I mean, I can put a bloom here that powers one of them. If I could put one here, that would be fine, but I can't. Alright. You're deleted. Wait, that was the one that was working. It's so hard to tell. You and you are the ones that weren't working. So can I fit like one that does work into that space somehow, maybe? I could. That does it. I don't need this underground anymore. I guess I want to go that way. Nope. Q and 1 are the buttons I use all the time, and they're right next to each other. I miss all the time. Okay, none of them are flashing angry. I mean, I'll take it. The thing is, this is not outputting anywhere close to a full stream of water. Right, isn't this like 9 collectors? Well, I don't need a full stream. I need a half stream to saturate a brinery. But this is only a quarter of a stream, I think, right? Because one lane of a streamway is 9 items per second, which would be 18 collectors. So, like, if there were more water around, I could go try to mine this one out as well. But let's at least get this water or salt hooked up, shall we? So that it's serving a useful purpose. Make space for the merger. Because since this actually isn't full, I kind of do want it to merge, right? Okay, this is not maybe the most elegant shape. But there's a bunch more salt if anybody wanted it. Still no problems on the power generation front. I mean, I think this is more salt than I'm using. It's fine. If I ever find I'm short of salt, hopefully I will remember that this is not producing a full line. Or I guess if I'm short of salt, I can just look at this and see that it's not a full line, right? Plus we're merging with some salt from up there. I mean, it's probably okay. So what are we supposed to do now? I think the two choices are hybrid water life tech or start on air tech. So I've pretty much got, I mean, I don't know. I guess the third choice would be keystones. Huh. More power storage. There's supposed to be some synergy between bastions and mana pools for some reason. Like, look at this one. This one is saying entropy over mana pools will be cleared automatically by spending power. And this says if you have mana pools near bastions, they store more. So, I mean, all of this I'm sure would be lovely, but I don't really need it. This stuff is kind of good, right? Collector speed is a powerful general purpose improvement. Tidal collector array triples the amount mined by your patches, right? So my little water patch down there would be 3/4 instead of 1/4 of a streamway. But none of it is like that important, I don't think. I mean, yes, I do want this stuff. But I think it's probably time to at least get whipping grippers. Honestly, that's like the only thing I want from air. Is that true? No, well, I want better collectors. Faster grippers, yeah, sure. But I don't really have to do any of this here. I could head over to the airplane. Because like, none of this is really important. I don't want to use air power generation. Like, I've already solved it for life. Power generation is not what excites me about this game. And so if I can just cheese it by producing a million power on the life plane and then tunneling it over with interplanar logistics, that's fine with me. That's what I want. So really all I'm looking for out of air is like this, an inventory passive, whipping gripper, movement speed, I guess. It's very easy to get. Tempest collector, I guess. Like, I'll get all this stuff just for automating whipping grippers, which, by the way, I've already done, although not to a very high throughput. All this stuff is about power generation. I could not care less. So, yeah, it's really the hybrid text that I want. Like, yeah, I want to do a couple things over here, but not all that much. So which hybrid tech do I want more? Air or life? I mean... basically, Cloud Spring Fountain and Torrential Streamway are the interesting things on air to me. I don't know what I want an Enchanted Gripper for. There's got to be a reason. But... like, there have been times where I've put down an air gripper and been like, oh, I only need one arm of this, and that's fine. And then realized, whoops, the other arm is actively pulling something that is bad for it to pull. And you could use an Enchanted Gripper for that, but doesn't seem important. Whereas Cloud Spring Fountains seem insane. They just solve all your logistic problems in an area for, I assume, a large amount of power. Is what this description makes it sound like. I haven't used it. It looks like logistics bots. But I guess like you're still going to have to use streamways to cover distances. Whereas in Factorio, you can make like a logistics network and the bots will move anywhere within the network to move stuff. But I think generally speaking, for good players, which I am not one, you would just build a small logistics network for each little sub-factory. Right? You don't want the bots going 1,000,000 miles to deliver one iron or whatever. And so you would that's what you should do here, it would seem, is just like place these next to buildings that want things. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that works. I am interested in it. Oh, right. And then there's the infinite research stuff. Enduring speed, enduring capacity. I mean, who cares, right? Mana capacity matters occasionally, but not very often. So this actually is interesting, but I think where I should go next is when I choose to leave this plane, I want to go to air. Because I've already done life. And yeah, there's some cool new stuff on Life Earth that I'd like to try out. But not much. Right? I mean, I'd like burrow roots for sure. Maybe I'd like root-bound grippers, although I don't think that would be super important. But I do want to try out Sovereign Mana Heart, I guess. To replenish moat fields so they never run dry, right? I'd like to try out some of the Earth-Fire stuff, like this Charged Lodestone is, as I understand it, kind of an analog to trains, although it doesn't have the automatic routing that trains have, as I understand it. So it's high capacity throughput at a relatively short distance by pushing chests for some number of tiles. Which I think you can do better capacity than you can with streamways with chests if you do it this way. So I'm interested to try that out. But I've never like actually made an air keystone in my life. That's the one element I didn't make keystones of before I quit. No, I didn't make water keystones either, I guess. But I'm going to do those here, right? Whirlpool, fine. Although I guess I don't even have to, because I took the foundation saying that you can go through portals with just prisms instead of keystones. So anyway, the point is, I think that the Earth stuff is what I want to do next. Because when I leave this plane, I want to go to air, and it'll be nice to have all this air stuff just waiting around, right? There'll be a bunch of air in the neighborhood. And I currently have actual use for this. But before I do this, I think it's even better to just do a small amount of air research. Like get whipping grippers, right? Get this movement speed, and then the rest of it, I don't really care. I guess get this extra inventory as well. Salt prism and air, and grippers. Okay. Salt prism, air, and aerosol. Sure. So I want grippers and aerosol. Plus air prisms. So, yeah, I think we're going to leave this water science zone behind for the moment to do some remedial air research. What kind of joke is this? Come on. Well, maybe I should do it over here where there's already a bunch of ether and salt around, actually. Whoops. That might be smart. Right, like I have air right here. Of course, there's not any salt in the neighborhood. There's air up here next to this water. So this seems like, in principle, a nice place to do a tiny amount of air research, right? Kind of annoying that the brineries are over there. Oh, hello. Nice to see you. Is that from this, I guess? It must be. There isn't a rift around yet. Okay. Other than this one. So, like, a thing I could do would be this. Well, just to get a small amount of salt, you know? To bind the small amount of air and make prisms. Don't possess any simple collectors. Did I bring with me? Yes, I have ingredients to make them. Great. I don't need an especially clever patch layout here. I don't need all that much air, to be honest. I think bloom here ought to do, right? Yeah. 50,000? The center is really tightly packed, huh? Because down here there's just like 13,000, even though it's all pretty much... There's moats under this whole thing. Interesting. Didn't realize the center was so tightly packed. Okay, so there's some motes of air. And if I just slap down, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 binaries, that'll be more than enough for this little operation. Let's say 2. Confirming that that's all plugged in. I mean, we're going to need some ether as well, of course, which I think can come from over here. Kind of rude of you to park yourself so close to this other rift, when this isn't even the one that you're spawning on behalf of. So just a handful of collectors here. Building small scale. Like just 10. That ought to do, right? Can I just power this with roots, actually? No. Uh-oh, I need more blooms. Means I need more life. Actually, I don't even need this one. This plus roots that run around to the back would be enough. this is 10, so like 5 grindstones would be enough, half of this thing. Yeah, but I still need... Well, okay, for one thing, I need to start mining this so that a rift will spawn, because I don't know where I need to put the grindstones yet. But it doesn't spawn for a little while. I think, though, that like once you start doing the mining, you don't have to keep it going. It will spawn a rift eventually now, after what I've done already. Knock it off. Oh, I don't need underground because I'm running power in from here to this bloom. Okay. Now let's run it a little further. Okay. This one, I guess, has also never been activated. How many of these do we have? 16, so that's 4 per second. Yeah, these binaries are more than enough salt to bind all of that. So it's like 8 binders. Well, even if I only place half of that, I still need to clear some space. Okay, good. Now we see where that rift is. So I think I'm looking at that. Interesting. These grippers are now actually animating differently than each other. I wonder if my bug report was already addressed. Certainly possible. Right. This little tail is how I tell where the input is. Good, 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 good. So I'm supposed to do this. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everything north of here can go. I'm not actually building the whole thing. Oh, but I need more blooms to actually build this now. I have to go back and get more elemental life. Not Riptide. Man, I should just install a little highway here just to walk on. Okay. Okay. This factory does work during the day, right? Still, I haven't broken it. These parts are broken on, you know, sort of on purpose. Excuse me. Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't really seem necessary to have roots, or blooms rather, go into it their own entire reliquary. Oh man, I need more grippers too. Well, I mean, right now, I might as well use the reliquary for something, right? I can pick it up if I change my mind. Where is their power? Nowhere that actually is currently touching this, annoyingly. Great. So now whenever I want, I can just grab all these and put them in my inventory. Which actually, I only have 54 streamways. There's a 50. I see the 4. Where are the 50? Are you counting these? I only see 4. Hang on. So what would happen if I did this? It is, okay, so it does go to the planar reliquary if your inventory is empty. Perfect. That's kind of what I want. I think. So maybe I can just forget about having streamways in my inventory ever again. What's your problem? The water moats are gone, I see. Well, this little sub-factory is not going to be working for much longer than I predict. But in the meantime, I got to pick up some grippers. Oh my god, this was back in the days when chests worked. Unbelievable. But the thing is, I want this. A reliquary of whirling grippers. Yeah, and so they're not actually going into my inventory. They're going up here, but it is increasing the count of how many I have access to. I'm cool with that. Now, the problem is though that these mining outposts are dead. In particular, all the water is gone. And so we're not going to have any more salt. Ah, no, that's not true. This stuff that was being bound into elemental water has run dry. But a couple of these harvesters, the ones that are making salt, have not run dry. And so there actually is still more salt flowing down here. Oh, you? Man, I guess I put you too ambitiously, huh? Like, you guys are responsible for harvesting actual valuable objects for me, right? Like, I can do this to resurrect you temporarily. But when I let it become nighttime, they're going to stop working again. I thought this one, though... Oh, of course. This one was supposed to be protecting this one, but it ran, like, all the water's gone. That's where all the water went. It was turned into entropy, not into elemental water. I just ran the streamways dry, or the moat fields dry, creating entropy. I mean, that's a fair trade. I wanted that entropy. It would just be better to do it somewhere where I have more water, I guess, because these don't actually function anymore. I might as well just pick them up and take them away. There's no water for them to use. Okay. Inventory is full. Yeah, I guess I like how these planar reliquaries work, even though it just wasn't obvious to me. Why are there only 8? Is that 8 roots? A single-digit number looks like 8. What's run out here? The gripper that's supposed to be putting roots in isn't doing it? There are no roots. There's no elemental life? Maybe? What's supposed to be here? Salt prisms. There's no ether. That doesn't seem right. There should be ether. There's tons of ether. What's missing? Ah, this line doesn't go anywhere. Some part of the retrofit went badly and I cut off my ether source, I guess. Now here come the salt prisms. That's what was supposed to be going here. Now we're making streamways again. We're making roots again. We're making blooms again. Okay. This is you like to see this. Okay. Well, I needed more elemental life. That's why I came back here, or more blooms anyway. Now that's handled. Although this number is still 8. All right, that was the first one that just went in there. It took a while to make enough roots to get production going again, but it is now going again. Okay. So back to where I was trying to do a small amount of air research. Boy, it seems like this rift is going to spread to cover the moat field, which is not supposed to happen. Oh, that's because it's from this moat field, I guess. This one's no problem. That's from, I suppose, this moat field. And this one doesn't seem to have spawned anything yet. I'll have another, please. Oh, I don't even have enough elemental binders? The blooms got filled in while I was away because I picked up more blooms in my inventory. That's fine. Via the magic of long-distance mana flare manipulation, I guess. Still another? Wouldn't be the dumbest thing in the world to have those in a reliquary, because you do like binders somewhat often, but I don't know. Not all the time. And there's only so many reliquaries to go around. Oh, it's true, you're not plugged in yet, I guess. Oh, this bloom isn't close enough? It's supposed to be there? There? Yeah. So now we're making elemental air. We're making motes of air as well, which I threatened to grind up, but haven't done so yet. It's only like 5 grindstones to grind all this up, right? Because I just don't have very much air to grind. I'm just going to do that by hand. Oh, that's wrong. Just a tiny bit too wide to be covered by a single bloom, sadly. I'm building all this with a kind of doomed sense, because this rift is going to expand to cover a lot of this gathering anyway, I think. But I don't even have to do that much air research. I want this to be a fairly stopgap kind of facility. No, no, no. Do not, I forbid you. Okay. So now we have air, salt, and ether. The makings of a very small research facility. The main things I need are salt prisms, air prisms, aerosol, and grippers, as I recall. Yeah. So let's look at aerosol, I guess, first. What does it want? Where the hell is it? Here it is. Air and ether. My goodness, it requires a lot. Oh, but it makes 3. Okay. Where's the one I'm looking for here? I guess I just need to pick up some elemental air and then it'll let me start making this stuff. Let's make a handful. So how long does it take to make this stuff? 1 second, it makes 3. Wow. Okay, so pretty fast. But in that time, okay, let's check again. Oh no, 2 seconds it makes 3. No, I'm clicking, you got a mouse over here. Every 1 second it makes 3. So it wants 11 inputs per second to run at full speed? Well, but we don't need 3 aerosol per second. That's insane, right? 1 per second would be plenty. So that would be feeding it like 4 ingredients per second. Which would be like 1.5 grippers of air to 2.5 grippers of ether. More or less. You can do that. That's a thing you can do with air grippers. Would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? There's not actually that many places around this to even use air grippers conveniently. Like, it's really nice. It's designed to let you do this on purpose, I'm sure. You know what? Let's just have 1 gripper of each, right? I mean, let's get real. This is not a high technology operation. Make sure I note that that's supposed to split at some point, so I don't accidentally take away the space I need to do it later. It's connected, but it's nighttime. So, it's not like it makes the aerosol quickly, but it makes it. I've made it somewhat difficult to get to salt, haven't I? I mean, it's not impossible. I can just, like, turn sharp right and then underground under this guy or whatever. Grippers are the most difficult thing we're making here, right? because it's a multi-step process. And I guess I should automate whipping grippers as well, even if I don't necessarily plan to do much research on them, just because I want to have them. That's the whole reason we're doing all of this. So maybe let's head to that first. Except it doesn't even need aerosol. So, salt, prism, elemental air, aerosol. I mean, I can do those. And those are the only things I need salt prisms or aerosol for. So I can actually stop those here. Well, no, I need salt prisms for, like, making... Not for doing research on, but for making the stuff we research, like the grippers. So... something like that, I guess. Where... one line goes over here. Don't think I want to be that friendly. Maybe I did, actually. Kind of want to be here, though, right? Where... I want to join these two lines up in a way that correctly gets them both on separate lanes, guaranteed. Why does this seem hard when it should be easy? I think because they have to come at at 120 degrees, not just 60, right? So I have to do something like this. There we go. Ah! So I need a salt prism array here. Not very many, but like enough to make eventually air prisms out of, but also pedestals and grippers and stuff. So let's make a bunch more of those. Okay, would you like just pick up some of the ether that's lying around instead of making your own, you weirdo? I feel like just 6 of these is probably plenty. How am I getting power in here? I mean, I guess it can come from over here. It's not pretty, but it's fine. Right, we need 2 of these. I guess we're probably going to want to go in the other direction, aren't we? Yeah, I'm fretting about this. Oh, of course, you guys need to be connected as well. So there's prisms. I mean, getting to grippers is the annoying part. I mean, pedestals, and pedestals are prisms and salt. So... thought I'd have space there. I guess I don't. Okay, like that then. Coming out uncomfortably close to the aerosol, aren't we? Okay, let's make sure I know that that's not supposed to happen. Maybe I was supposed to run this salt line up instead? Probably. Splitting this one is just asking for trouble. Oh, I broke the wrong one. It's supposed to go like that. And these are made in grindstones as well, of course. Okay, so now we have all of our major ingredients, except the ether is like, it's in Mysteryville, who knows? It's here. Maybe this is the one that was supposed to go over. Oh, and the aerosol, God help me, I can't even fit that. Well, I can run it over the top, it's fine. So here's all these ingredients. If I split off salt prisms and salt, it's kind of difficult. But I mean, I can underground everything else, I think, without causing any huge problems. Nope, there's a problem right there. So this is not appropriately spaced out. Here? Yeah. So here I can build grippers. No? Well, maybe. Pedestals and ether. And pedestals are salt and salt, so I will need to bring in ether at some point. But I don't need very many grippers, right? Probably. No. You. I mean, let's just put 4 of these in. I don't think I even need that many. But I could be wrong. There. Side loading accomplished. One bloom actually is wide enough here. How we get power to that bloom, I mean, I'm not exactly running a disciplined belt here, so God knows. I guess I could get it through here, for example. So there's pedestals. Deltas take so long. I could have squeezed it a bit further right, apparently, huh? It looks like that's going to go cramp this guy's style, but apparently it doesn't. So that's that. And then I need a handful of Tinker's tables, which I assume I don't own any of. To make grippers out of this. Like that? No, wait. You were supposed to go there. So there's the ether joining up. Grippers need... Oh, this makes 2 grippers. So I probably didn't even need nearly this many grindstones. Fine. So we had this design before. I don't think I need 2 Tinker's tables, honestly. But it's an easy build. And to make whirling grippers... Which, again, I'm not going to need to make that many of. Well, I don't know. This might become my planar reliquary one day. That other area in the west might run out of modes. And I want to turn these into whipping grippers. I guess I want these to all turn into whipping grippers, right? So maybe I want a decent number of them. But still, like, 1 per second ought to be plenty. And that's what you get with 1 Zephyr Mill. Being fed 3 air and 1 grip. So this is way more grippers than I need. I don't need this many pedestals. I should just be able to direct insert from this 1 grindstone, right? Every second making 2 grippers? Are you crazy? That's so much. if I'm doing that, here's pedestals, right? I don't even necessarily have to merge these lines. I suppose I could just have a gripper taking from two things, but no, these are, yeah, pedestals. And I should be able to build a Tinker's table that just direct inserts from, okay, you. That is what I want, but maybe not in that orientation. Like that, eh? No, that's pointing at nothing, you Goomba. That looks good. With then a Tinker's table here. Which can itself direct insert into a Zephyr Mill? I guess that's not a Zephyr Mill. When combined with uh-oh, wait, I can't do that. Okay. I guess that works. Inventory is full. So take this air and just run it into that, right? And this is whirling grippers. It needs power. What am I doing? There isn't even any power here to get, you weirdo. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Why can I not do this? It's either encroaching on the Delta or the Zephyr Mill, I guess. Oh, I'm out of underground streams. It finally happened. Uh-oh. Too bad the area that I had mass producing these has fallen into ruin. What exactly do I need to build more myself? Yeah, salt, actually. I don't need more water. I need more of the salt. There should be some saltways in here, right? They're flashing angrily at me, but somebody's got saltways. You? No. You. Doesn't help a lot. I need more salt. Okay, I should just like pick up actual. There's so much salt everywhere. I'm so good at making salt. Boy, a lot of salt goes into these guys, huh? Oh, actually, I don't even need salt. I need salt prisms. Why don't I need salt? Saltways require a bunch of salt. I do need salt. But it's because I... Oh, salt just doesn't show up here because you don't build it. Okay. it's so much salt. It's unreal. I can just slurp this stuff up. Okay, I think I finally reached the point where no, salt is still the limiting reagent here. You just need so much of it, apparently. This is wild to me. Okay, but I have a bunch now. Not as many as I might like. Oh, and I completely ran dry on Streamways, and I don't care. Great. The planar reliquary is doing it. I set that up to be here, right? Not in the old abandoned ghost town. Is there a way I can see where that is? Can I, like... Well, I mean, it should be over here. But it would be nice if there was a way I could see it and confirm. Yeah, it's here. Oh, I can't use my spell, of course. Alright, I've been here for way too long. What am I doing? We're going to end today's episode with an attempt to make some basic wind stuff that is going, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.